Hey everyone, let's do some philosophy with GPT-3. What is a simple definition of nihilism? That's my favorite topic lately. Nihilism is the belief that nothing has meaning or value. Lovely. What is a simple definition of humanism? Humanism is a philosophy that emphasizes the value and agency of human beings individually and collectively, and generally prefers critical thinking and evidence, rationalism and empiricism, over established doctrine or faith, fideism. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, so I like these two things. I am personally a humanist. Nihilism is a poison that is poisoning society. As much as we don't think it is still prevalent. Okay, so let's see. What is a simple definition of objective morality? Objective morality is a system of morality that is independent of human opinions or feelings. Okay. As opposed to, let's see what it says. Subjective morality is a system of morality that is based on human opinion or feelings. Okay, I guess so. Let's see. From a cosmic perspective, is life special? Interesting. If even a tiny fraction of those stars have planets that support life, then there must be billions of planets with life in the universe. What if Earth is the only planet with life? No, I did not ask you to do that. Let's see, in that case, life would still not be special from a cosmic perspective. The universe is so vast and old that even if Earth is the only planet with life, it is a tiny speck in the grand scheme of things. Okay, I mean, I guess that's a nihilistic perspective. Let's see. If life is unique to Earth, and life is the only thing. Actually, no, here, there's another question I need to ask first. Does life give meaning? Without life, there can be no philosophy. No meaning. Is this statement true or false? Why? The statement is true. Life gives meaning to existence. Okay, so without life, everything is meaningless, pointless. Yes, without life, everything is meaningless. Okay. Therefore, we can we therefore accept it as axiomatic that life is intrinsically valuable? Yes, we can accept ... It's processing that life is intrinsically valuable because without it, everything is meaningless. Does this run contrary to nihilism? No, it does not. Nihilism is the belief that life is meaningless and that there is no inherent value in anything. But it just said that life is intrinsically valuable. Okay, so in this case, I will say that that this is GPT-3 failing at verbal reasoning. It's not perfect. Let's run it again. This statement simply reaffirms that belief. Okay, I disagree. I think that is okay. Let me rephrase it, because here's one thing where, like, if you and I were having a conversation and we can link those ideas, GPT-3 sometimes seems to, lose the plot. Okay. If we accept that life is intrinsically valuable because it gives everything meaning, then does this run contrary to nihilism? Okay, but if this is like self-referential, nihilism is the belief that life is ultimately meaningless. However, this does not mean that life cannot give meaning to existence in the meantime. But okay, I think this is self-referential and nonsense, but whatever. GPT-3 was trained on a lot of internet, and there's a lot of edgy boys out there who believe in nihilism. So I think this is wrong. But we can accept that life is intrinsically valuable because without it, everything is meaningless. Okay. Let's see. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, I know where to proceed. Let's see. So without it, everything is meaningless, pointless. Okay. What other axioms can we derive from this idea that life is intrinsically valuable? Let's see. All life is valuable. All living things have a purpose. All life is interconnected, and all life is sacred. Okay, sacred is a pretty powerful word. Okay. Please expound upon these four assertions. Let's see. All life is valuable. This means that all life is worthy of respect and care. All life has inherent worth and dignity. All living things have a purpose. This means that everything that lives has a reason for existing. All life is a part of a greater whole and has a role to play in the universe. All life is interconnected. This means that all life is connected to each other and to the rest of the universe. We are all part of one big family. All life is sacred. This means that all life is holy and should be treated with reverence and respect. Okay, this is really interesting. I think this is kind of getting a little hand wavy. So let me, let's see, write a rigorous philosophical defense of the above assertions. There we go. Okay, so this shows that like you have to be really careful with your wording with GPT-3. Okay, rigorous philosophical defense. All life is valuable. This assertion is based on the idea that life is intrinsically valuable. Without life, everything is meaningless. Therefore, all life is valuable because it gives meaning to existence. There we go. Okay, so that's referring back to itself correctly. All living things have a purpose. This assertion is based on the idea that all life is valuable. Since all life is valuable, all living things must have a purpose. This purpose may be different for each individual thing, but all living things have a reason for existing. It's a little bit weak. All life is interconnected. All life is valuable. Since all life is valuable, it is interconnected. That's a non sequitur. Okay, so I don't think it succeeded in defending this point. Let's see. Rigorous philosophical attack of the above assertions. Oh, look at this. This is great. All life is valuable. This assertion conflates the value of life with the value of life with the value of individual lives. It is possible to value life without valuing all individual lives, and vice versa. I really like that. All living things have a purpose. This assertion is teleological and thus presupposes a purpose for existence. It is not clear what this purpose is or why all living things would have the same purpose. All life is interconnected. This assertion is based on the notion of the intrinsic value of life. However, it is not clear how all life is intrinsically valuable or why this would lead to the conclusion that all life is interconnected. All life is sacred. This assertion is based on the idea that life is intrinsically valuable. However, it is not clear why life is intrinsically valuable or why it would lead to the conclusion that all life is sacred. So it does rightly point out that that there are some non sequiturs here. However, we did establish earlier that life gives meaning to existence. So, okay. Let's clear this out and start over. What is an axiom? An axiom is a statement that is accepted as true without the need for proof. Okay. What are some common axiomatic statements? Things that are equal to the same thing are also equal to one another. Okay. A whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Interesting. Let's see. Is life meaningless? Why or why not? Construct a rigorous philosophical argument. There are a few different ways to approach this question. One could argue that life is meaningless because it ultimately ends in death. Okay. However, one could also argue that life is meaningful because it is a unique experience that should be cherished. Ultimately, the answer to this question depends on how one defines meaningful. If one believes that meaning comes from leading a life with a purpose, then it is possible to argue that life is meaningless. However, if one believes that meaning comes from enjoying and savoring the experience of life, then it is possible to argue that life is meaningful. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Actually, let's keep that for a second. What are some philosophical frameworks that deal with this problem? Existentialism is one philosophical framework that deals with the question of the meaning of life. Existentialists believe that humans must create their own meaning in life, as there is no inherent meaning in the universe. This can be seen as a positive or negative view of life, depending on how one looks at it. Another philosophical framework that deals with the question of the meaning of life is nihilism. Nihilists believe that life is ultimately meaningless as there are no inherent purposes to existence. There is no inherent purpose to existence. What if there is a purpose? We are just not aware of it. If there is a purpose to life that we are not aware of, then it is possible to argue that life is meaningful. Even if we do not know what that purpose is, the fact that there is one could give our lives meaning. Okay. So nihilism makes the assumption that there is no purpose, when maybe we just don't know what the purpose is. Okay, so what are the problems with nihilism? Nihilism is the belief that nothing has inherent meaning or value. This perspective can be problematic because it can lead to a sense of hopelessness and despair. Additionally, nihilism can be used to justify harmful and destructive behaviors as there is no inherent value in anything. See the Russian nihilists. What did the Russian nihilists attempt to do? The Russian nihilists were a group of young people in the late 19th century who rejected the traditional values of their society. They believed that nothing had any inherent meaning or value, and they advocated for social and political change. The nihilists were also known for their rebellious and often violent behavior. Okay, so let's delete that. That's fine. What are the benefits of nihilism? Nihilism is the belief that nothing has any inherent meaning or value. This perspective can be beneficial because it can lead to a sense of detachment from the world and a focus on the present moment. So that's optimistic nihilism. Additionally, nihilism can be used to challenge traditional beliefs and systems, as there is no inherent value in anything. Right, so you challenge the status quo, you build something new. However, let's see, how has nihilism infiltrated society today? What evidence is there that nihilism exists in the zeitgeist? Nihilism has infiltrated society in many ways. For example, some people believe that life is meaningless and there is no point trying to make anything better. You see this especially with some politicians who are just trying to maximize their own profit and destroy the environment. Additionally, some people use nihilism to justify harmful and destructive behaviors. Okay, it's getting really repetitive, so let's clear this out. The only way to handle repetitiveness is to clear it out. Also, let me take a quick check how long this has gone on, because I can do this all day. Okay, we're only at 15 minutes. I think that's fine. Let's see. Where should we go from here? What are the types of nihilism in society today, including existential nihilism, the belief that life is meaningless; spiritual nihilism, the belief that there is no God or other higher power; moral nihilism, the belief that morality does not exist; political nihilism, the belief that government and politics are pointless and corrupt; cultural nihilism is the belief that culture is meaningless and without value. Yes, this does contain sensitive content. Okay, so just compact that a little bit. Okay. Provide examples for each of the above. Let's say specific examples. No, that's not specific. Here. Let's see. Provide a specific example of existential nihilism from the news or pop culture. Okay. So let's see. This is definitely sensitive content. A story about a person who has lost all hope and meaning in their life and is considering suicide. An example of existential nihilism from pop culture would be a character in a movie or TV show who is going through a midlife crisis or is questioning the point of everything. Okay, it didn't provide a specific concrete example, but I'm sure you can think of plenty of examples of people facing nihilism. Okay. Provide a specific example of spiritual nihilism in society today. The rise of atheism. Okay. Many people are now openly declaring that they do not believe in God, and this is having a major impact on society. Churches are losing members, and religious leaders are struggling to find ways to appeal to the growing number of atheists. So that's interesting, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Spiritual nihilism is on the rise. However, I will also point out that neo-paganism is also on the rise. So maybe we are returning to super traditional values. When Jordan Peterson said we should return to traditional values, he was probably referring to Christian values. But what if we go back to older values? Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox. Whoops. Provide a specific example of political nihilism today. Okay. I was hoping it would be very, very specific. Anyways, I think that's good enough for now. You get the point. You can talk philosophy with GPT-3. It knows more about philosophy than I do. I don't always agree with it, but that could be from my own ignorance. Anyways, thanks for watching.